I want to dig in a bit to OpTic. So I assume you guys are both probably going to say that they're going to beat Minnesota, but do you think that those S&D issues they're having could provide an avenue for maybe a Florida to make an upset? Or do you think they're overblown, Pacman? Do you think they're not as big of an issue as people make them be?
I mean, I think they're personally overblown. I think that they clutch up some S&Ds when they need to. A couple of game ones they lost, they managed to pull back the game twos. They're not atrocious at S&D. They're just not great at it. But they are great at the respawns, and I'm not really worried about this OpTic team. This OpTic team is really solid. I just think that once they figured out that S&D, they could be up there. They could take Dallas over as a number 2 spot. I won't go so far as to say FaZe's spot yet, but this team is really strong. This is a really strong OpTic team. Envoy is one of the best players in the game. He did it again in the last match. He's just going crazy every match. They're really strong. I actually really have a lot of faith in this OpTic roster.
Yeah, I mean, just to kind of piggyback off that, because I've had my opinions on OpTic's S&D, but it's not like they're horrible at S&D. It's their weakest mode in my eyes. And so when you're going up against a top team, because OpTic, people want OpTic to win. OpTic is looking to win these events. So when you're going up against FaZe and Dallas, you need, and even subliners, I guess you could say, you need to be able to take some S&Ds off them, right? Because the respawns are going to be depending on the day, because all those teams are just so elite at respawns. The rest of these teams, like Florida, like Minnesota, they're probably better than them, or like at the very least on the same level when it comes to S&D, but they're just way too good at respawn. Like they're too much for these teams to handle. So it's like, who cares? Yeah, maybe we'll lose the S&D, but we'll win both hard points into control.
Yeah,
or
but
like
you're not dropping 2 hard points to a 2-9 Minnesota.
Yeah,
right.
It just won't happen. It just won't happen. They need to improve their S&D if they want to win, in my eyes. But for playing against the bottom half of the league, doesn't really matter. I mean, shit, they could just skip that map too, probably.
They'll be just fine.
And still win the series.